That's movie.
Point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermain Botsio. And on today's show, you guys know what it is, what the deal is. It is Tuesday, Triple Threat Tuesday, and I got two of the best fellas around. I got Mr. MCcaney and Mind of Jamal. Let me tell you something. Two brothers who are really putting a hurting on these liberals. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing?
Loving life.
And you know me, let's chill. I ain't gonna say the rest of the part because I ain't gonna be singing it to no man. Let's settle down. That's what we ought to do, just me and you.
Oh, no.
Man, I ain't singing that. JR done called me my deal, so I'm gonna leave Jay alone. He started already behind the scenes.
Man, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a very good night. You doing good, Jay?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, it's another day that God has made. I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it.
Let me hear you sing it.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. I've been waiting to get rocking. You know me. I got very big lips. So I've been doing push-ups, getting the energy correct so that when I sit down, I'm ready to flame. So we have a fantastic show lined up. We have a lot of people who have been waiting for a while. And let me tell you something, I'm ready to rock. What about you guys?
I want to rock right now. I want to rock right now. Yes.
Well, I'll be ready to rock as soon as we take the Red Bull away from Jamal.
Oh no.
I can't afford. It's just Biden's economy. I can't afford Red Bulls.
Oh no.
This is brought to you by Bang. This Jamal is brought to you by Bang.
Oh my. You know, is that Bang? I heard a lot of people have now started drinking Bang, what energy drink instead of Red Bull. Is it a lot better, Jamal?
You get different flavors and you don't crash, but like this will last. I'll be honest. I'll be up to about 1:30, 2 o'clock tonight. My
goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good and it's cheap too. You get 20 cans for $20.
Man, that is crack prices in the energy realm. I can tell you that. You hear that, fellas out there? Instead of getting that Viagra, go ahead and grab that Bang. You know, that sure will help you, bang that out. You know what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you share. You see, we already started. You know it. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. If you got a stove, light one up. If you like JD and Coke, right? I used to love JD and Coke until I had an ulcer. Let me tell you, you make sure you drink and sip one for me. All right? Absolutely. With that being said, let's go ahead and get rocking. Let's get first one up, ladies and gentlemen. First one up. I want to speak to you guys about a viral video clip, and it deals with a married New York woman. This is absolutely horrific. I can tell you that. This woman was beaten in a subway station, and she was beaten because she refused sex with a ongoer that was there. Apparently, this guy has a lengthy history. I want to go ahead and run this when it comes back. I want to get your take on this. We have seen a lot of this before. I remember a guy was raping a woman on a train, and there was people sitting there just watching. They didn't do nothing about it. Do you guys remember that case?
Yep, I remember it.
Absolutely. This is that world right now. There's a lot of beta men out there, and we need to bring real men back. Let me go ahead and run this when it come back. I want to get your take on it. Here we go. Craziness.
The vicious attack that again raises questions about the criminal justice system. A woman on her way to work at Kennedy Airport was pummeled to the ground, punched, and then kicked at the air train station in Howard Beach. This video is from security cameras at that station. Police did make an arrest, and it turns out the suspect has a long history of attacking people. The victim spoke exclusively to Eyewitness News reporter Injay Burkett.
Do you know how scared I am now? I was never a person to be scared.
Elizabeth Gomes was beaten so badly, she stands to lose the vision in her right eye. Her head throbs with pain, and she's barely slept in a week.
Them Hispanics ain't gonna keep taking this crap.
Attacked in the Howard Beach Air Train Station 6 days ago.
I can't see anything on my right side.
Look at that.
Honestly.
Oh!
And it just hurts.
Elizabeth was on her way to work at JFK. She had just gotten off the A train and was headed up the stairs to the air train platform when she was attacked from behind.
A 22 or a 25 would have stopped that.
And she never saw it coming. In the MTA's surveillance video, Elizabeth is dragged across the concourse and slammed headlong
there's people
into a
there
wall.
too.
She is punched mercilessly and kicked repeatedly.
Look
when
at
a man tries to
look at
intervene,
this.
he is chased away.
And
before
then
the suspect
guy
turns
come
back
to help
Elizabeth
you, chased away.
and kicks her 5 times before he calmly walks away into the transit system. She says he was muttering incoherently about Satan in the moments before the attack.
He's talking about the devil. He's talking about a whole bunch of nonsense.
Talking about
Her
Satan and the
husband
devil.
is heartbroken and furious.
Man, I watch the video and I tear my heart out. You hear me?
The suspect was later arrested, identified by police as 41-year-old Wahid Foster. In 1995, law enforcement sources say Foster was arrested for murdering
you
his
don't need to be on
82-year-old
camera
foster
talking. You need to
grandmother
get locked
in a
up so you can get in the
brutal
same
beating
cell
at
with
the age
him
of
and go to
14.
work.
6 years later,
You
he's
need to be in
arrested
the
for
same
stabbing his
cell with him.
21-year-old
He was
sister
arrested
with a
for
screwdriver.
murdering his
And in
82-year-old
2010,
foster
arrested
grandmother.
for attacking 3 workers
And
at
they
the
let him
Creedmoor
out.
Psychiatric Center where he was an inpatient. He was on parole
Arrest-
at the time
This
of
is
last
Biden's
week's
America.
attack. It happened at 5:15 a.m. and Elizabeth says there were no police officers anywhere in the station. No one to prevent the attack.
Yes,
and
there
no
were.
one
There
on
were
the
folks
scene
there.
to respond to it.
The Negro chased somebody.
Incidents in the subway. What happened to all these police officers? They said
And
they
no
were
flowers
there
are
to
put there
protect
for
us,
her or nothing.
to be there. And there's like nobody to be found.
That guy deserved to be
I don't
killed.
understand.
Yeah, I agree.
Man, oh man, ladies and gentlemen, do you guys see that? This is Biden's America here. I want you guys to understand this is Mr. Magoo's America. Let me go ahead and go to Jay. Jay, what do you think about this here? He has a lengthy history. He was arrested for murdering his grandmother in 1995. My goodness gracious. And he's still out here. What do you think here, sir?
I have 7 sisters and a mom. And all I can say is, animals like that, they don't need to get locked up. Because as you can see, the penal system doesn't help people out like that. That person right there need to be put to sleep. And you know what I mean when I say put to sleep.
Oh yeah.
And a person like that that was in New York, right?
Yep.
Or that was in New York. I mean, that's enough said right there. I mean, the legal system in New York is all paid for by the Democrat Party. So even if he was to get arrested for what he just did right there, he'll be out by lunchtime. So people like that and they need to be shot. Bottom line, I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. This clown needs to be put on public display and shot because he cannot be reformed. There's no reformation for an idiot like that.
There is not. And let me tell you something. We have so many liberals who are into this restorative justice. They don't see that a lot of these people really need to be locked up and kept locked up. Now, Jamal, let me tell you something here. This man was uttering things about Satan, speaking about devil worship before he attacked this woman. Do you believe that, Satan is still alive in this world? What do you think?
Satan never left it. The Lord Jesus told us in the scriptures that if the Holy Spirit will be with us at all time, okay, he will be here. Satan never left. When he got knocked out of heaven, because that was a strong right hook God hit him with, because he flew down to earth like a bolt of lightning. That's a right hook. That's you said what to who? And he got hit for it. But evil has been on this earth. But the problem was it was contained at one time. It had strong resistance. It don't have that strong resistance no more. People are so willing to capitulate because he's black.
Yep.
All this crap started happening, and you really start seeing this stuff get out of control once that crackhead fentanyl addict George Floyd.
There you go.
And everybody wanted to start Oh, don't do nothing. We don't want to hurt nobody young and black. But her husband, if this man gets out, her husband needs to be locked up.
Yep.
Because as soon as he get out, if that was my wife, I would be waiting outside the county jail with a bag of white boxers, white t-shirts, and white socks. That's for those of us who have been locked up in the county. As soon as he step out, I'll be like, yo, man, I saw you, dog. Yeah. Hell, Satan. Well, I'm going to help you meet him.
Yep.
And I'm going to beat the bricks off him. I'm going to beat him so bad. I'm going to change the oil, rotate his tires, and also top his fluid off. I'm going to bust his head. Bricks, center blocks, whatever. That's what's wrong. They're telling men, let the system handle it.
Yep.
No, her brothers, her daddy, her uncles, her male cousins, and especially her husband need to handle that one.
I want to get back to something that you had said earlier about that, Jamal, about where this problem is coming from. Look at how bad things have gotten in the last 2 years. You got the pedo and thief and his handler, who's named Jill, and you know that his son is a crackhead and he's a pedophile just like his dad. And look, the first person that Joe Brandon was appointed to office was a man that dresses like a woman named Richard Levine. When he appointed that man and Senate approved that man to be the health secretary of the United States of America, I said then that America is going to rue the day that they turned their back on God. And look at what's going on now. Crime is going through the roof. I read an article earlier today where it said that crime is hitting in some places just like it was back in the 1970s and 80s. Think about that for a second.
I'm telling you, man, it is crazy. Now, Jamal and Jay, I went and put Wahid's criminal history right behind you. 95, he was arrested for murdering his 82-year-old foster grandmother in a brutal beating at age 14. 14. Arrested for stabbing his 21-year-old sister with a screwdriver. Come on. And then arrested for attacking 3 workers at a psychiatric center. So this man is, it's shown that he has this type of problem, but yet he's out in the world with, apparently no supervision. And I blame, ladies and gentlemen, the healthcare system that is chasing COVID instead of chasing real problems. I blame the liberals, and I blame Mr. Magoo. Mr. Magoo is making it very easy for folks like this to walk around and do stuff.
Yes.
All you guys have to do is just rewind it, and you can see that there's a guy there who tried to stop it, and he was chased away. That's how weak guys are nowadays. Seriously, this guy's beating on this woman. You come to try to help the woman, and then all the guy does is stare at you and you run off. Last words here, Jamal.
This also goes to show you how the testosterone of men have been lowered so bad. It is ingrained in us to be heroes. It is ingrained in men to be small s saviors. Because there's only one savior with the big S, but men are supposed to be small s saviors.
Protectors.
Yes, we're supposed to be the ones who rush in the battle. When we see a damsel in distress, we come. But we're being told not to. We're being effeminized.
Yep.
We're told the police can handle it, and the police can't.
They certainly can't.
There must become a time where men have to reach back to where the days of their grandfather, and when you see something like this, go to work. And I mean, clock in on his hind part and when you get finished, take a lunch and clock back in.
Absolutely.
Treat him like a job.
Whoop that ass like a job, I can tell you that. Jay, last words here, buddy.
Well, I mean, we look at things now and we think it's bad, but it's going to get a lot worse after the election, regardless of who win the election, as far as Congress and Senate and all this other stuff. You still got a platform in the communist, used to be called Democrat Party, that's going to continue to work with media, continue to work with Hollywood, and make things much worse than it is already. Look at what's going on in Chicago. We don't even talk about how people are dying daily from black on black crime in Chicago or New York, and these people get arrested and they're let right back out. In Illinois, they're about to start allowing people to they're not going to arrest you for attempted murder or kidnapping and a lot of other violent crimes. They're not going to arrest you for that starting January 1st. This is the reason why people better get good at being proficient with firearms.
Mm-hmm. Bottom line, you have to be proficient in trying to protect yourself and your family. I mean, gosh darn it, that's common sense. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right, you see the people out there who hate us. Yeah, they're called liberals and idiots. Yeah, they're idiots. Yup. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. We're trying to reach the good folks here in America and across the world. Yes, there are still good folks out there. And we're trying to reach them so that they can get a fellowship with some folks who want a better world. All right? Thank you. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to somebody who just donated here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Robert Marvin, my guy Robert Marvin, straight out of New Hope, Minnesota. I believe his wife is a district representative. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Shout out to you. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, I want to speak about Philly. Philly right now, let me tell you something. They're going crazy in their first fall weekend. 4 dead, 20 shot, including a 2-year-old. Yeah, it is that crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and run this. When I come back, I want to get your take on this. Here we go.
Right now, an incredibly violent first weekend of fall in Philadelphia. 2 people are dead and at least 20 others shot, including a 2-year-old boy. He was shot once in the back. Eddie, the violence has been nonstop over the past 24 hours. What's the latest update on this 2-year-old boy?
Yeah, Sheba, even just walking around the city today, talking to people, they're disgusted just to hear that a 2-year-old is fighting for his life at the hospital. Police didn't have much of an update today, only telling us he's still in critical condition. His mother's by his side, and they didn't have an update on just how a 2-year-old was shot in an apartment.
It may feel like fall outside, but it didn't cool off the violence that's plagued Philadelphia this summer. Philly Bike Fest was planning a ride for peace out to the homes of parents of murder victims, but it got rained out.
We have to do something. We have to bring the community together. We can rip and run on the bikes and hang out, get a cheesesteak anytime, but we're trying to do something for the residents to bring them some ease.
Death and violence washed through neighborhoods across the city. It started Friday night in Kensington, where an 18-year-old was killed in what police called a robbery gone bad. Instances like this drive peace fighters like Joe Wilson to do more.
We try to show them empathy. There's a difference between empathy and sympathy, so I go there with empathy because I lost a child as well. Each parent somewhere is crying right now, and we try to show them that we care, that somebody cares about what happened to their child.
Over the weekend, over 20 people have been shot and 4 people have been killed. Neighborhoods across the city littered with shell casings and worried residents. In North Philly, a 2-year-old shot inside of an apartment late Saturday night.
No 2-year-old child should be laying in no hospital with a bullet wound, and no child should be laying there.
All the violence hitting home for so many, including police who have had a busy weekend trying to keep up and catch the people pulling the triggers.
Just another tragic situation where you have, again, a kid that should not have to worry about this. 2-year-old should be able to just play and live and be free and not have to worry about, fighting for their lives.
And that was our Eddie Kadam reporting.
My goodness gracious. Man, I'm telling you, the world is absolutely crazy. 4 dead, 20 shot, including a 2-year-old that is fighting for their life. My goodness gracious. Jay, what do you think about this here? How did we get to this point here? Was it the Black Lives Matter movement? Was it George Floyd? I mean, what was it, the out of wedlock birth rate? How did we get to this point where, crime has just gotten this bad? They don't have nobody in custody. And we have a little kid that's about to lose their life. What do you think?
Well, it's a combination of all the above that you just mentioned, but the major reason why we are where we are right now is because we kick God out of schools. And when we kick God out of school, we kick daddies out of homes. And after we kick daddies out of home, we kick common sense out of the public platform. You have people that think that it's okay for a sick grown man dressed like a woman to use the same bathroom as a little girl. They see nothing wrong with that. So because they see nothing wrong with that, they're not teaching their kids at home that killing someone with a gun is wrong, or beating somebody up because they don't want to have sex with you is wrong. They're not teaching any of this stuff at home, or stabbing your grandmother beating your grandmother up is wrong, or stabbing your sister with a screwdriver is wrong. And if you don't have anybody teaching you these things, you're going to have things like this. Like I said earlier, it's going to get much worse because we have not learned our lesson. We're still electing these politicians that promise black folks the moon and back. Oh, by the way, have anybody gotten any reparations yet? I didn't think so. But anyway, you got all this garbage. You got all this garbage coming from Washington, D.C., and it's affecting every city in every state of America.
It certainly is. I believe a lot of this has really started with Barack Obama. I keep bringing up that magical Negro. Let me tell you, he is certainly a magical Negro. He started a hope and change, right? He hoped to change America to a Marxist state and destroy it. He's hoping, let me tell you. And part of his plan was this racial tension, was this, let loose of all this other crap that the liberals love to push. I speak about restorative justice on here because this is the ploy that liberals use to let criminals out of jail. They'll say, hey, well, if we let out a third of all criminals, let me tell you something. we'll still be just as safe. This is the nonsense that is being pushed. There's a Pennsylvania Democrat, I believe his name is John Fetterman.
Yep.
He's pushing this crap, and there's a lot of liberals who are signing on to it. And guess what? He lives in Philly.
Yeah.
The place that we're speaking about. He wants to let out more criminals, ladies and gentlemen. So we get to a point that these folks here, they really don't give a crap about the constituents or anybody. They give a crap about getting into power. I want people to understand they truly do. Jamal, what do you think about this here? I mean, my goodness gracious, a 2-year-old was shot. 4 dead. 20 others were shot. What do you think?
The black community has to step up. If we in the black community are tired of this, if you are truly sick and tired of this, you got to vote out these people whom you have seen have did nothing. You cannot continue to use the excuse you worried about whether or not this one is racist or whether or not he support racism. You can't keep this lie up. Everybody you have voted for, that you have told you want equity, you want the criminal justice system to change, you see that is a load of crap.
Yep.
And it's harming the community. How many dead bodies must we continue to have before the people, the voters, see the new way ain't working? Go back to the old ways.
You know,
Jay, last words here, brother. Go ahead.
One of the things that Jamal was talking about is voting. You know, there's two things I think about when I hear people talk about that. First of all, I think about what LBJ said, that he's going to have those N-word voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and they're in year 57, I do believe. Now that he said that, that's the first thing. Second thing is that I think about the fact that 2 Chronicles 7:14 said that if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, shall turn from their wicked ways, then he will hear their prayers, and then he will heal their land. If we as Christians don't start turning from our wicked ways, we're going to continue to go down and down and down. There's no other way. We're in a spiritual battle here, and people don't realize that. People don't recognize that. Every clip that we show, everything that I see on social media, it shows that we're in a spiritual battle, but we're still trying to fight it as if it's flesh and blood.
You know,
hey, Jermain.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask Jay this question real quick. Jay, in Isaiah, he said, if we turn our back on God, he talking about men, he said children and women will rule over you.
Yep.
Is this punishment to black community because our men have willingly gave up their positions and not fulfilled the promise our forefathers made to God about if he bring us out of this, we will serve him and stay with him?
I totally agree with that. You know, the Bible says that sex is designed for marriage between one man and one woman forever, you know, and we've taken that concept and we redefine what marriage is, you know, hey, let me have a quickie here and I'll go to the next girl tomorrow. That's what we define it. And as you can see, we're suffering from a epidemic of sinfulness. The Bible says in the last days, lawlessness is going to abound. and look at what's going on. We're paying for ignoring what God has said, what God's law as far as what marriage is and what family is, and the Democrat Party is good with this, because what they have done is said masculinity is toxic. Okay. Yep. And because they said that, you got these women, as a result of them saying that, women are raising boys to be women. If you have not noticed that, you have
on this program, you're 100% correct.
You have women that hate men that raise boys to hate men as well. And because of that, you got the violence that's going on in the neighborhoods. You got all of this garbage that's going on because of women and men out of the place that God has placed them in.
Absolutely. You're 100% correct. You know, a lot of this also deals with the breakdown of family, just like you guys are speaking about. We speak about this daily on our program. The breakdown of the family is a huge, important piece here. The man has been kicked out through feminist movement, through the culture. We have really put down men. I want folks to understand that. I know there's some folks in here who gonna get upset, but let me tell you something here. The order of the family has been broken. The liberals have said that a family could be a mama and children. I recently had an argument with my brother and his wife, who said, hey, Jermain, a woman can have children and that could be called a family. I said, no, it can't. They got mad at me. I said, you guys are falling into that same liberal trap where you believe anything can be called a family, right? Let me guess. 2 dogs and a cockroach, a family. let me guess, right?
They call them doggy parents now.
3 women and a child, a family. 2 women and a kid is a family. 2 men and a kid is a family. Yeah, that is nonsense. We have eroded the word marriage into, playing with folks' feelings, right? We haven't been honest with the truth. And now you can even look at our churches, right? A lot of these pastors are females. You think I'm playing? A lot of these pastors are females with gosh darn more hair on their beard than mine. Last words here, Jamal.
What we was just talking about when it comes to family, they have taken what the meaning it is to be a parent away. How many times have we heard people see on our timeline their doggy parents?
Yeah.
A doggy daddy. Yeah. A doggy mama. No, you a pet owner. Oh, God, my dog is part of the family. Well, maybe if you weren't so evil, maybe your husband would give you some kids long and be around you long enough to get some kids, or maybe someone can stand you long enough to marry you. But and we do these things, and I want to thank Christian Walker. Christian Walker, thank you for your kindness and generosity and donation through Cash App. We sit here, the family's torn apart, families destroyed. But notice, this is a problem in the West.
Yep, it is.
Not the East.
I was just
notice that?
The Western
all
culture.
These countries we call totalitarian, evil, they ain't having this problem.
And the reason why they ain't having this problem is because they don't have a culture of women putting down their men, talking Chris-zap to their men. They don't have a culture of women who are stealing children away from the men. And I want the men to understand something here, right? I'm very honest. And let me tell you, the more honest I am, the more women who come in my range. It's quite crazy. Let me tell you something. There's women out there who will date you, right? They'll act wishy-washy with you. They'll get pregnant by you without even getting married. And then when they don't like you, you know what they do? They take the hind part to the court and they extract dollars and you can't see your children. So I want the men to understand something here. There's an issue in our behavior as men, right? And there's an issue with the court and the culture. And men have to realize this. It's not right when men and women break up and only one side is awarded the children. It's done on purpose, and men have to understand this. Conservative men have to put on their pants and understand that too. They have to, because it's going to affect your children as well. It's meant to break up the family. That's why we speak about this. Child support, all that stuff, because it matters. And I want the men to understand, the court wants to take away your legacy, right? Most men don't understand this until they're in throes of divorce court. And then they start asking around and they say, what? I only got to see my child 4 days a month? I was seeing my child every day until my wife got upset and said, I don't like my green hair. Yeah. I want folks to understand this. So all this type of stuff is wrapped up into what we're speaking about. And it goes into it. So, what can we say about it? We have to do better as a society, and we have to make sure that we vote folks who have this type of mentality, this restorative justice mentality. People need to stay in jail. I'm for people staying in jail. I'm a former correctional officer, former correctional counselor, right? I used to counsel people with behavioral issues. And I want folks to understand the behavioral issues don't go away just because your emotions are there. Right. They don't. They have to do the work. And it's a mental work that they have to do. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, I want to go ahead and speak about Biden inflation. A lot of people are being put into the poorhouse. Let me tell you. There's a guy who released a video, and he was shocked when he released this video. It's about, ladies and gentlemen, the prices of food in his area. Now, a lot of you guys have been sending me stuff saying, hey, Jermain, look at the price of eggs. Look at the price of ground beef. Let me tell you something. I understand. I want to go ahead and run this one and come back. I want to get you guys' take on it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
God damn, shit getting expensive. Nigga, a box of cream of wheat gonna run you $8-9 after taxes. You know something wrong if they want $8.99 for the cheap cereal, not the knockoff brand. Y'all want $8.99 for the $10 for the knockoff brand after taxes. Kids don't even deserve no goddamn fruit snacks if they're gonna be $8 after taxes. Boy, if bacon wasn't on sale, that should be $10. I ain't never in my life about to give y'all no $15 for no block of cheese. Boy, that's gonna be $18 after taxes. Now you tell me, when have the big bag of hot Cheetos ever been $5.19? They don't even slap $6 on the bag. That's $7 a bag after taxes. But ain't no way in hell this stale-ass beef jerky can get the dub. That's out. That's gonna be $24 after taxes. Ain't no way in hell I'm giving y'all $23 after taxes for this little-ass pack of chicken. We going vegan. Now, I used to rock with the Stouffer's lasagna. Not no more.
18, I'm telling ya. Man, you see those prices? Ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all see them prices, right? And don't talk about the taxes included onto it. Jamal, what do you think here, brother? $18.99 for a pack of beef jerky. It's a real jerky.
If You voted for Biden. I don't want to hear your complaints. Anybody who voted for Joe Biden, we shouldn't even hear their complaints talking about gas or food for this fact. They was told what Joe Biden would do if he got in office. This just isn't something that happened after the Chong flu. No. This is direct ignorance and stupidity from this president and Democrats in office. We didn't need that last stimulus. He was warned it was going to do inflation.
Yep.
These people are about destroying America because Joe Biden is in the pocket of China.
Yes.
Simple and plain. It is too much going on with his family. Now they found out his son done slept with a Chinese spy. Okay. China know they women look good. They know Asian women from 19 to 40, the most gorgeous women, but something happens after 45. It's like they go over the Grand Canyon. They go from hello, baby, to hey, how you doing? I know. It's just like that.
I'm telling you. Jay, what do you think about this here, brother?
I went to the grocery store a couple of days ago. 3 bags of groceries, $120 from Walmart. And as I was taking my card out, paying for my groceries and stuff, I kept on saying, "Let's go, Brandon." Let's go, Brandon. Because that was coming out of my and when I one of the things I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, gas went down 40 cents." It's still $2 more than it was 2 years ago. I don't understand how people are happy because you're getting 20 cents back of the $4 that you gave somebody. It makes no sense to me. And now I remember at the beginning of the year, you had all these food processing plants on fire. And now look at where we are right now.
Yep.
These people, like Jamal said, these people are destroying America on purpose. And people need to recognize that. You got crime going out the roof, and they want our guns. You got Mr. Pedo and Thief that went and hired 87,000 IRS employees, and you think that they're just going after rich folks? Are you really that stoned? Are you really that stupid?
Man, I'm telling you, people need to wake up now. You guys, I have a video here I want to go ahead and share with you guys as well in this segment of Biden inflation. It's his transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg has a message for all Americans. He believes that this is a key to making people save money. He's speaking about electric vehicles. I want you guys to take a look at this when it come back. I want to finish this segment here. Here we go.
Includes EV credits to make electric vehicles more affordable, used as well as new. We're excited about that because, a lot of Americans could be saving a lot of money by owning an EV, but only if they could afford it. This makes it cheaper.
Wow. So what's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that they're trying to pass EV type of, a tax credit at the end of the year. You buy an electric vehicle, they'll throw you some cash back. This is what they're trying to do to make it more affordable for people to get into the electric vehicles. Now, I heard that it takes a lot to make one battery for a vehicle. And I heard that just to replace a battery on these type of vehicles, it's like 20, 30K. I ain't playing. It is really up there. Last words on this here, Jay. What do you think about this? Electric vehicles, do you think this is a viable option?
No. What we have right now is what is called a manufactured crisis. You got the Democrat Party that has shut down the Keystone Pipeline, has shut down drilling for oil offshore. They have shut down all of necessary resources that we had in order to continue to be energy independent. Now we're going to Saudi Arabia and begging oil from them. We're going to Russia begging oil from them. And this is all because we got a pedo and thief, and you got Pete Booty Giggles that want to try to tell people that they need to buy an electric car when they can't even afford gas for their car.
Jamal, what do you think? Last words here, sir.
You know what? This goes to show you to the elitism of the Democrat Party.
Yep.
Every time you turn around, they have always said that Democrats represents the poor and working class, and
they always say that.
And Republicans represent the rich. Who is out here telling us to buy a $65,000 to $70,000 car? If you can't even afford to buy a box of Cracker Jacks, Rice Krispies, and milk, how the heck you gonna get out here and buy a $70,000 car? These people are elitist and they don't care. They only use those who are poor and struggling as stepping stones to enact their crazy agenda. It's crazy, it's radical, but if you know somebody who voted for Joe Biden, when you see stuff like this on your timeline, tell them to don't even put you in it, because you know they voted for this to happen. Don't waste your time with people who want to complain. If Jay tell me, Jamal, I wouldn't jump in that water, it's piranhas in it. Look, fool, this is a piranha. I got it, Jay. Now, he may throw a rope and pull me out, but he ain't gonna want to hear, Jay, they beat me, they hurt me. Well, what you expect, fool?
It's a piranha. I'm telling you, people get what they voted for at the end of the day. And that should be a motto from the Republicans, actually. Jamal, that should be a very good slogan, don't you think? You get what you voted for, right?
Kamala Harris actually said that. She's in a clip saying that. You need to get that clip, Jermaine. She actually said that.
You get what you voted for.
You get what you vote for. So if you voted for them, this is what you're getting. And they were quite, how can I say, apparent and quite outright up front with what they wanted. They told us, hey, we want to go ahead and raise everybody's taxes. We want to let out criminals, right? We want to defund the police. They were saying all this. And there's tons of Americans who were hoodwinked by the racial crap, and they went along with it. The liberals know how to break down the white man. How can you get what I'm saying? Seriously, all they know how to do is play on the emotions of the white man. Hey, we're gonna get a couple Negroes shot by a cop. This will play on the white man, and all we're gonna say is that white people are racist and all this. There's gonna be tons of white people who are gonna get offended and say that they're not racist and vote for whatever we say. That is the liberal playbook. And let me tell you something, it always works. It always works. And I hate it. And I want white people to understand that this playbook is old, and it all depends on how you react to it. And trust me, it always happens. and it's gonna happen again. It's almost November 8th. Shoot. Yeah, don't you worry. There'll be another racial crisis here in America again. Don't you worry. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Iowa Hawkeyes 123 on Rumble chat. Donated, says thanks to Jamal wearing a great shirt tonight. Doesn't matter who gets it. Go Hawks, beat Michigan. Ooh, okay. I see it. Iowa's strong. Iowa's strong, baby. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Let's go ahead and move forward here. I want to go ahead and speak on our next topic here. We're going to speak about Russia and the Ukraine. For the last several weeks, this is probably last, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, liberals have been very quiet about Russia and Ukraine. Usually they'll be tap dancing for chips. You get what I'm saying? Trying to get some donations. But it seemed like, the liberals have, really stopped their campaigning. And I'm like, gosh darn it, what happened? Apparently there's a lot that has happened. One thing that has happened is that Russia has issued a new nuclear warning during this Ukraine's referendum is ending, and they have issued a nuclear warning. I want to go ahead and run this when it comes back. I want to speak about this. This is a big deal here. A very big deal. Here we go.
In other news, as the voting in the Russian-occupied regions of Ukraine comes to an end, Russian President Vladimir Putin says the referendums in these areas are in the spotlight due to dramatic events in Ukraine.
Of course, today amid the special military operation and referendums in the Donbass, saving people at all territories where the referendum is held is at the top of the mind and in the center of the attention for our entire society and our country. This is natural because it's connected with dramatic events.
Now, according to Russian news agencies, first partial voting results from 4 Russian-occupied regions of Ukraine show overwhelming majorities in favor of becoming a part of Russia. The hurriedly arranged referendums took place over 5 days in the 4 areas of Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia and Kherson that make up about 15% of Ukrainian territory. According to reports, the initial counts show majorities ranging from 96 to 97% in the Kherson region, based only on 14% of the votes that were counted. The number goes up to 98% in Zaporizhia, based on just 18% of the vote count. Donetsk and Luhansk in the Donbass region were just under 98%. That when just about 14% of the votes have actually been tallied. Russian officials in the area took the ballot boxes door to door. Ukraine and the West have condemned these referendums, calling them a sham and an illegitimate coercive exercise to create a legal pretext for Russia to annex these regions. Meanwhile, the exiled mayor of Mariupol said residents were threatened to cast their ballots in these referendums.
Thanks to every resident of Mariupol, today most people are directly in the territory of the controlled part of our country. How many such people? More than 200,000 people arrived in the controlled part of our country. How is the so-called pseudo-referendum happening today? That is, it cannot be called a referendum because it is a sociological survey. I think. This is my personal opinion.
If annexed, Russia can portray any Ukrainian attempt to recapture these areas as an attack on Russia itself. Earlier, Putin said he was ready to use nuclear weapons to defend the territorial integrity of Russia. In 2014, Moscow held a similar referendum in Crimea in an annexation that has never been recognized by the West. Ukraine has repeatedly warned that Russia's annexation of additional Ukrainian territory would destroy any chance of peace talks between the two countries. Russia says it is up to the people of these four regions to decide for themselves whether they want to come under Moscow's rule.
So, the referendum to join Moscow in the occupied regions of Ukraine here. The referendum is ending. Russia is issuing a nuclear warning. Gosh darn it. It seemed like they ain't playing anymore. This whole shebang about to end. Jay, since you about to get ready and leave us here, brother, why don't you go ahead and start off with this here? What do you think?
You know, Russia have been saying for a while that they want to come back. They had dissipated back around the time that the Berlin Wall was destroyed by President Ronald Reagan. Thank you very much. And so Russia has been in like a state of confusion, if you want to call it that. But thanks to the pedo and thief and his administration, Russia has been gaining more power than they have ever had in history. And Russia and China, both of our mortal enemies, they have promised to destroy us, and they're getting themselves in a position where they can. China's going to do it financially, and you got Russia that's going to destroy us by not only with the nuclear threats and everything, but also by getting powers just like NATO in those regions that NATO has already.
Jamal, what do you think?
Here's the thing. Russia told them a long time ago, stop this crap that's going on in Donbass. Stop bombing the Donbass system. He told them that. When they did that coup in 2014 and they annexed Crimea, they told Ukraine, if you try to join NATO and stuff and keep bombing the Donbass region, we're going to attack. They didn't believe them. Well, when they had that mass casualty, Russia stepped in. Russia told them. Now that these people unvoted and said they want to be part of Russia, now it's a problem with voting. Every time you turn around, you always hear Democrats and EU, oh, we want elections. But now you have a problem that people done voted and you don't like it.
Yeah. One thing I do know is that the liberals right now are running away from this. They don't want the people here to understand the real deal behind Russia and Ukraine. We have a lot of people who have been defrauded of their money to give to the Ukrainian folks. We understand that there's war there. People need help. But we don't also want to involve ourselves in something that we shouldn't be in. And that is something that liberals haven't been truly honest about. One thing I do know is that if we don't have strong leaders in our country, we don't have strong conservatives, and we don't have, how can I say, backbone Republicans
Yes.
who can have a backbone to tell the truth, we're always going to get into this type of mess. We got into this type of mess with a lie. And it seemed like now the liberals are just running away from it. I saw this as a money boondoggle for the liberals, for them to sit there and make up charities. And I want people to understand, these politicians are very slick. They'll make up a charity just to go ahead and throw it in there so you can go ahead and, throw your dollars at that charity. And that charity ain't doing squat except for getting somebody rich. And it seems like there was a transfer of wealth during this period of, hey, let's go ahead and help the Ukrainians. And now you don't hear nothing about it anymore. Nothing. Where are the flags? Where are the stickers? They're gone. The liberals are on to the next boondoggle of a lie. Last words here, sir.
People notice whenever Ukraine launch an attack and Ukraine is taking back territory, you hear the news constantly about Ukraine. But now Russia sucked them into a bottleneck and start blasting away and pushing them back. You don't hear nothing else about this Ukraine stuff. Now that they got this referendum and these people say they want to make this part of Russia.
Russia, yep.
If Ukraine bomb Russia, they're going to use a tactical nuke. And you know what? I hope they use a tactical nuke on Kiev. Because I'm tired of that little bastard Zelensky and his Nazi regime. I'm tired of him.
Absolutely. He's sitting there in a bunker eating chips, running his mouth.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to speak about something very interesting with this Ukraine and Russia war here. There's a guy by the name of Edward Snowden. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's a Russian citizen. A lot of people been wondering if he could be drafted into the Russian army. I want to go ahead and run this story when it comes back. I want to get your take on it. I think that this is very interesting. Here we go.
The days ahead could get ugly because the ultimate threat now seems plausible. A complete cutoff of Russian energy supplies to Europe. Moscow has decided to intensify its war in Ukraine. Everything is fair game right now. Russian President Vladimir Putin is challenging the West on every front. And this brings me to our next story. Edward Snowden is now a Russian citizen. The high-profile whistleblower who revealed how U.S. agencies were conducting large-scale surveillance abroad and on its own citizens, the same Edward Snowden has now been given a Russian passport. The United States has kicked off speculation now. The U.S. State Department fears Moscow could draft Snowden to fight the war in Ukraine. Are these fears genuine? Our next report has the answers.
Is Edward Snowden a whistleblower or a traitor? The answer depends on who you ask. 9 years after he exposed America's invasive surveillance programs, Snowden's deeds are still a subject of debate in Washington. Moscow's moves have now added a new layer of complexity to this story. Edward Snowden is now a Russian citizen. His name was a part of a presidential decree published by the Kremlin on Monday. A total of 72 foreigners were part of the list, but Snowden's name clearly stood out. What's the thinking behind the move? For Snowden, it was a personal call. He had applied for Russian citizenship in November 2020. The reason was the birth of his son. In a tweet, Snowden had expressed he didn't want to be separated from his child. And that's why he wanted to become a dual citizen of America and Russia. Snowden's wife, Lindsay Mills, plans to do the same. She is also applying for Russian citizenship. The couple also have a daughter.
And
she was born in Russia.
Right here.
So she already holds
Edward Snowden, traitor extraordinaire, snitch extraordinaire. I think that I think his picture's under the word snitch in the dictionary. I think he might get drafted in there. Either he get drafted in there or he get killed by the CIA, one of the two. What do you think about this here? Do you think that he might get into the Army?
You know what, Jermaine? I'm going to say this. Eric Snowden, actually what he did was showed America how bad these bureaucracies had gotten.
Yep.
Now, he exposed them. They were listening into our private phone conversations, and people haven't forgotten. People have forgotten. They made a joke about Barack Obama and how Barack Obama was listening in to people phone calls. The NSA was doing that. We actually got to see how bad these agencies were.
Yeah.
And now we see the FBI and the CIA. Eric Snowden already warned us. Now, notice when that girl or whoever that was that took pictures of the U.S. treating Iraqi terrorists in a bad way, Abu Ghraib, they were praised and, yes, great. But when somebody exposed the Obama administration for what they were doing, okay, and that's what he did. He showed what was going on behind the scenes. The NSA should have been shut down and reined in.
Yep, they should have.
FISA courts abused. We was told this by Eric Snowden. So I'll be honest, I think it's Russia's way of sticking it in our face, but he could be a valuable asset.
He could. He did a very good job of showing how the bureaucracies were actually taking advantage of the oath that they took to, serve and protect. And this type of surveillance is going on right now. I was even telling my son this. I said that the government can, they know almost everything about us. I want folks to understand that. They said information is a big money game. Biometric information as well. Right now, we all have a tracker on us, and we have a listening device. It's called your cell phone.
Yes.
Now, do you think that somehow, these companies are saying, hey, we're not going to let the government come and snoop on you? No way, no how. See, I have you guys sign this and sign that. They could give a rip about what you signed. I want folks to understand that. Right? That's why I want a lot of people to get out of this hunky-dory, always believing what the government says type of crap. You need to just use common sense here. Yes, they've been doing it for a very long time. A lot of stuff that has gone on, especially with the mass shootings and stuff like that, they know when it was going to happen. A lot of the times, yes, they do. They know when it's going to happen. They know about the folks in advance. Haven't you guys always wondered why? Hey, the FBI knew about this guy 2 years ago. Right? Mm-hmm. Ain't that right, Jamal? Jamal, I ain't playing around, right? You know that, right? FBI know about a shooter 2 years ago, and you're like, gosh darn it, how come you guys weren't watching him? And yeah, they were watching him. And sometimes they will allow stuff to happen for political gain. You guys understand that? Jermain, you're crazy. You mean to tell me they will allow a shooting and a George Floyd and stuff like that to move the political needle in an agenda? Yeah, absolutely, they will. So folks you gotta wake up to it. Have to wake up to it. And then Edward Snowden in a sense. Maybe he'll join. Maybe he'll be an officer. Who knows? He'll be intelligence officer. You know what I'm saying, Jamal? Yeah, he can get the Kremlin badge and everything. Who knows? I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was funny. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to speak about the CDC. CDC says that 3 new COVID strains are spreading in the U.S. here. Take a look. Make sure you share.
The latest on the pandemic brings new concern about new variants. Hospitalizations have slowed, but experts say there's still cause for concern. CDC reporting 3 new rival strains are spreading across the country. Those variants account for about 20% of the new infections. Health officials warn when it comes to COVID, we are not by any means out of the woods.
Wow. Very quick, very simple. 3 new COVID strains. CDC says we're not out of the woods. Jamal, what do you think?
Trying to scare people so they'll vote because they know Democrats won because of that the COVID lie. They told lies about COVID.
Man.
Democrats won, and now they can't hide it. That's why YouTube is allowing people to say stuff. Facebook is allowing people to say stuff because the rules is up. They got caught. They got caught, and people know it. They got caught.
You ain't lying.
They got caught. People saw that they were lying, and you can't cover this up anymore. People know you were lying.
They were lying. They've been
Held
caught
this
up.
country hostage.
And now, since the midterm is right around the corner, all of a sudden now we're starting to hear about these COVID strains. And one thing we do know about America right now is filled with single mamas and gosh darn betas. Beta males.
Beta.
Let me tell you something. Single mamas are trying to stay home. Beta males are trying to stay home with them. Let me tell you.
Yep.
So that's why, the Democrats be winning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you see how crazy the world is? 3 new strains of BS. And let me tell you something. I'm not scared at all. The other strains that they were talking about, I wasn't scared of them either. Look, we still alive, Jamal. I'm still alive eating chicken.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I still haven't put down the chicken, Jamal. These folks are crazy. They certainly are. Last words on this here.
Whenever the Democrats feel they're going to lose, they start panicking. They go to racism. If it's not racism, then it's a disease, something to scare people. So people will say, hey, we need the Democrat Party to protect us. We need the Democrat Party to protect us. No, you need yourself. You've been lied to. How many more times must you be lied to right before an election for you to realize what's going on? Now it's becoming to where y'all just stupid.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't care if they said there was 10 new strains. This is just nonsense. It becomes mutant nonsense after a while. And I'm hoping that folks ain't going to fall for it again. Moving forward. Last but not least, I want to speak about Trump. Oh, yeah. Trump is still in the news, ladies and gentlemen. He still is. You better believe it. The special master has ordered Trump's team to prove FBI planted evidence at Mar-a-Lago. Oh, yeah. Big deal. I want to go ahead and run this when I come back. I want to get your take on it. Here we go.
We've got new developments to tell you about in the legal battle over the FBI search of former President Trump's Florida Country Club. NBC's chief White House correspondent Kristen Welker following the story. And Kristen, this special master, the semi-retired judge that the Trump team had requested, is bringing a lot of scrutiny to some of the former president's claims.
He certainly is, and setting some big deadlines as well, Savannah. Good morning. The first one set by the special master, as you say, that third party who's reviewing the material, is Monday. He says the federal government has to produce those 11,000 documents they seized from Mar-a-Lago by that date. But there is also a lot of scrutiny on that repeated unsubstantiated claim by Mr. Trump on social media and television that the FBI may have planted evidence in their search of Mar-a-Lago, despite not making that allegation in court. Mr. Trump's legal team now has to officially back up that claim. The special master giving them until next Friday to do so, writing, and I'll just read this to you, Savannah, quote, "This will be Trump's final opportunity to raise any factual disputes as to the completeness and accuracy of the FBI's list of what was taken." Now, while the FBI has not directly responded to the allegations it planted evidence, Attorney General Merrick Garland has defended the integrity of the FBI, Savannah.
Well, it sounds like the judge is saying, show us the evidence if you have it in court. Meanwhile, there are other investigations going forward, and the January 6th committee also will resume its hearings.
That's absolutely right, Savannah. Yet another of those investigations facing Mr. Trump is heating up again. As you say, next week, the January 6th committee will hold another hearing, vowing in this hearing new testimony about the events surrounding the so-called big lie. That's that false claim that the election was stolen. Now, this hearing will be the first of the fall session. And here's the political backdrop. The midterms less than 2 months away, Savannah.
All right, Kristen Welker, thank you very much.
Wow.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
Man, look at his head, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness gracious, that bald head is shining, ain't it? Almost needs shades. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think? I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Fred and Yvonne Garrison. Donated, took our challenge. Shout out to y'all. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Ain't this crazy? Trump, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, has it, the evidence that he's speaking about. They're trying to call his bluff. I believe that he has the evidence. One thing I do know about Trump and his lawyers, they're just not going to say, hey, they planted evidence if it wasn't true. We were just speaking about how bad these surveillance organizations are, right? NSA, FBI, CIA. We're not speaking about everybody in the organization, but gosh darn it, we're speaking about people in key figurehead roles who are using the agency for political purposes. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, is in that range, in that purview. Trump, I believe, will beat it. They can sue all they want, just like Letitia James. But they will not come out victorious. So we shall see. We shall see if this man is going to get caught up by anything. I just don't think he will. They're on a mission to destroy him because, the elections is that serious. His influence to get others elected, his influence in America, they want to stop it. So we shall see. I am hoping, ladies and gentlemen, that this type of situation ends. But I don't think it will. I think they will keep hitting him with lawsuits and all sorts of crap until he decides, hey, you know what, I'm done. So that I mean, it's just a crazy thing. Absolutely. We have Jamal. Do you have anything to say about this? The special master is talking about, Trump got to basically show evidence that the FBI planted some evidence over there. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. If President Trump has it, he's going to show it. Now, of course, you're going to have different agencies saying, oh, he was just talking hyperbole. No, Donald Trump said, hey, I didn't have these things. Oh. This is not what I had. Notice now that they got the special master, Department of Justice didn't want it. Oh, you don't need it. They purposely wanted Donald Trump to get locked up or not run, and they're terrified of that. So I believe 100% Donald Trump gonna produce it. He's gonna show how they did it. Because if there's no lawyer there, okay, only thing Donald Trump got to do is show, hey, this is why I had it locked up. This stuff went on the ground. Y'all laid this stuff out here.
Mm-hmm.
You knew for a fact, because look what just recently happened, and I'm not skipping subjects, but look what just happened with that pro-life man. The FBI raided him, took him out in handcuffs, and he said he would have surrendered. So, yes, I do believe President Trump is going to produce it, and he's going to show it.
I believe that as well, Jamal. President Trump and his lawyers just don't, speak this way and say things just to say it. They're not like the millennials. You get what I'm saying? They're not emotionally charged. They like using facts, and that hurts a lot of folks right now, especially in this female-led America right now. Facts are not a good thing to produce. Feelings are, though. They love folks to show a whole bunch of feelings. And you can see that, ladies, you see what happened now, right? A lot of you ladies say, hey, if this world was ran by women, it would be really nice. Let me tell you something. Mr. Magoo is a mangina. Okay, he has a vagina, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. There's, trust me, he got no ball swinging.
Oh,
and then look
he do.
Kamala
he
Harris.
Chasing little girls. Oh yeah, them old sacks may be blowing dust, but he chasing little girls.
See, I'm telling you, the world crazy. Oh, my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the show. Yeah, that is the end of the show. I want to thank all of you guys for coming in, hanging out with us. I want to thank Jay McCaney. Jay McCaney had to leave a little bit early, but I thank him for blessing us with his presence here. It was very, very, very good. And Jamal, you got any last words for our beautiful crowd here?
Everybody, look, Democrats and liberals are going to try every dirty trick they can, because here is what they don't want. They would rather Republicans get the Senate, not the House, because of this. If Republicans get the House, they can impeach Joe Biden on his cognitive skills. They can impeach him for that. They can say he does not have the mental capacity to be president. Democrats want to protect Joe Biden from getting impeached. That's why I'm so glad Republicans ain't mentioned that. Ain't talking about it. They should. Marjorie Taylor Greene is, to let you know she's going to push it. But I hope people buckle down, because the next 43 days, you going to see people getting locked up and getting perp walked so they can win this election.
You know it. You know it. They'll pull out all the stops. You know this, Jamal. They'll be making up lies from here to Pakistan. You know it, right?
Yep.
Especially here in Minnesota. You guys been hearing the Dr. Jensen lies, right? Dr. Scott Jensen, if he's elected, oh my goodness gracious, you know what's going to happen? Every woman out here is going to be walking around butt naked. I swear. They're doing stuff like that. Right? They got commercials saying, hey, support women. And I want the men to understand, how come we ain't got no commercials for us? Support men. Yeah, let that man see his child. Hey, stop with the alimony payments. Get off your rear end and start working. Yeah. So I know some of you guys are out there are with your wives, right? You gotta look away to smile. I understand that. I ain't gotta look away. I live in the doghouse. Yeah, once you live there, you ain't gotta, look away. Yeah, Jamal, I want to thank you so much here, buddy. Thank you so much. We definitely gonna do this here next week. We definitely
yes, sir.
Next week we'll all be here for the full time. I want to just put that out there for everybody. My back right now is hurting.
Yeah.
The dogs are crying and barking. So I gotta feed the dogs right now. Well, my doggy Nova's sleeping. But my feet, they barking though. They the ones who bark. So that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming on in here, everybody for hitting that like button, everybody for sharing, and everybody for donating. We really do appreciate it. We really do appreciate it. So with that being said, you guys take care. Have a very beautiful night. And we'll catch you guys here later for another edition of